Hello friend, Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And yes, today I'm going to be sharing with you the biggest renting disasters that I know that you're going to need to know about. So let's get right to the great information. And by the way, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome to you also. So for one, it's Mexico. So things are done differently here when it comes to renting. If you don't speak Spanish, that's another barrier that you have to get over. So knowing a few things right now is going to help you that you don't fall into one of those disasters. One is to know that rentals are in high demand. So you're not the only one that's going to be looking for certain places. Now, because of that, some properties are at a premium. Places here that come for rent don't actually stay for rent very long either. So with that being said, it doesn't mean that there's not good deals that are here. It just means they're a little bit tougher to find. Now, social media will tell you that you can't find anything here for less than $2,000 a month as a rental. I do not know why they do that. There are a lot of places that are available for rent for way less than $2,000 a month. So if you're looking at that, you're conscientiously looking at moving here, and you're seeing that and saying, well, I can't do that. Well, if that was the case, we couldn't do it either. We wouldn't be here. That wouldn't make sense. So I will just tell you, there are good deals out there. I'm going to share a couple here with you in just a moment. So success in running a place has everything to do with opportunity and preparedness coming together. That's when you're going to find the better deals. That's when. So let me share with you some places that are available right now that I went and looked. This is actually being filmed in September of 2025. So these are places I'm just wanting to share with you of places that are available. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, close to everything, off-street parking, furnished, includes utilities, upper scale neighborhood, $800 a month. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, utilities included, gated community, pool and jacuzzi, filtered drinking water, fully furnished, high-speed internet. Now, the reason I share that is because that was literally the place that we were renting. We were renting it for $650 a month with the utilities included. Right now, I know of 3 places in the same community that are being advertised right now for rent. And the rents that are being asked is anywhere between $750 and $800. So that's just to give you an idea of what is available. 3-bedroom, 4-bath, a $1.3 million home, gated community, includes utilities, a pool, lake view, fully furnished, 2 off-street parking, which is in a garage, $1,400 a month. These are all in US dollars. Another one, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, gated community, pool and jacuzzi, workout gym, tennis court, pickleball, gorgeous lake view, filtered drinking water, fully furnished, $1,200 a month. So that just goes to show you that there are places out there that are available. So let's dive in more to the disasters. Okay, so disaster number 1 is location, location, location. And why do I say that? Because in Ajijic, that's where the more expensive properties are going to be. But the farther that you go west away from Ajijic, or that you go east from Ajijic, that's where your money is actually, your renting dollar or your buying dollar is going to go farther. That's really important to know. That is one of the reasons why that's the first thing I take my clients through on my boots on the ground discovery tour, is we go to Jocotepec and then drive the 20 miles of all the neighborhoods, all the places that have places for rent. You get a chance to see that. If I know what the rents cost, I let you know that, or homes that are for sale. So that's literally the first day. That takes up the whole first day. So when I say location, you might say, well, I'm looking online right now and I see this place and it says it's in West IE. Where's that? Or it's in the Racket Club. Where's that? Or it's in Ribera del Pilar. So within that first day, you know exactly what these areas are. So that's why I mentioned location, 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 because you could rent in the wrong neighborhood. I'm going to get that in just a second. Well, actually, let me do it now. So in IE, this is where there's a large concentration of Mexican families. You got to remember, they were here first. We're guests. They are very warm, very welcoming, very helpful. Ajijic is where the highest concentration of expats are at. So you're going to be around the Mexican traditions and celebrations. Loud music, parades, carnivals, cohetes, which is the bottle rockets they shoot in the air. That's what you're around. So the majority of, I'm going to say 98% of the expats that live here live between Ocotepec and Chapala. And the highest concentration is probably Ajijic. I'm going to say maybe to Chula Vista is probably where the highest concentration are. So that's important to know of the neighborhoods. That's why that's the first day I with my boots on the ground discovery tour, because it's really important to know what the places are like so you get a good feel of it. So the second highest disaster, I should say the second disaster, is making sure you're aware of rental scams. Now, that's a big deal. We've got a friend of ours that came down as subscribers. I took them out on the tour. They were online on Facebook. They saw a place they really liked. They paid the deposit for it. She actually went and gave them the deposit cash, and then end up finding out that that house wasn't even that person's to rent. Yes, that happens here. And she didn't get her money back. And the deposit is normally the equivalent of 1 month's rent. So I don't remember exactly. I know the place that they were renting was $1,500 a month. So I'm going to guess it was right around that same. So $1,500 US money. Be sure, this is key, because this is where disaster happens, that you are dealing with the owner or the landlord, the management company, the realtor, or the rental agent. Really, really important. Those are the only ones that are going to be able to give you information and show you that property. If you're looking on Facebook, you got to be really careful, because what happens is there are scammers that take pictures of things that are on Facebook, put it on like their own Facebook or a different place where they can go and list things like Craigslist and all kinds of other places, and it not even be theirs. And they're going to do everything they can to get your money. They're going to tell you that places are in high demand and you're going to lose out on this because of all these other people are all wanting it too. You just got to be careful. I know that there was a couple realtors. I guess what they did was they had a bunch of different sites online. I think I was told 24, but different websites that were showing properties to rent here. And when they would rent it, they'd get your money, and then when you came to actually move in, they actually evicted you. Now, I've not checked in to find out where that's all right now. That's why I'm more wanting to be focused on the positive things, but things that you need to be aware of. Because of the fact that we're dealing with especially seniors, it's easiest to be taken for a ride. So, again, I just want to say this again. They're taking legitimate pictures, and they're taking those pictures, the descriptions, and the posts off of Facebook, and they're putting them wherever. So you see those. So they end up being a scam. And you know what? You're not going to get your money back. It's Mexico. You won't get your money back. So That was disaster number 2. Next disaster, know who pays for what. So are the utilities all included? It's important to know this in advance because then there's no surprises. And have I seen surprises? I've seen people who have had washers and dryers and the washer goes out. Well, they call the landlord and the landlord says, no, it was in the contract. If anything was to break, it's up to you to fix it or replace it. I tell people all the time, in fact, I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment, about having an attorney review a contract. So, another important thing, electric. If you're paying electric, you're still going to want to know this. Is the electricity in that house, is it 110 or 220? You might be somebody who's coming down and bringing your washer and dryer, and the dryer happens to be 220. That's going to be an important thing to know. Gas, or it's propane here, the size of the tank. How often does it need to be filled? Who do you need to call? Is the water included? It's important to know, is there good water pressure? Is there good plumbing so you can flush TP down it? Is it filtered water or is it well water? How about the internet? Is there high-speed availability there? The gardener, who pays for the gardener? How often do they come? Housekeeper, same thing. Which appliances would have to be replaced if they broke? Appliances like the washer, dryer, the hot water heater, dishwasher, plumbing, and something else that ends up breaking. Who actually takes care of that? Okay, so now we're on the 4th disaster. Before renting, and I just say this with all sincerity and heart, and to really encourage you and urge you, do not just figure that you're going to sign the lease and everything's going to be okay. I can't tell you how many times I've heard of things being disasters, okay? I've got a gentleman that actually came down here from the States with his mom. We had never met. He rented a place in one of the gated communities. It was $2,000 a month. And within the second week that they were living there, his mom fell. And he went to get out of the contract because they needed to move somewhere else because of the fact he realized that the area there wasn't going to work for them. So when he went to say, I want to get out of the contract, or we're leaving, he found out that he had signed 3 promissory notes in that lease. 3. Now, I hadn't have heard this before, so I went to another real estate attorney to ask if that was legal. That is very legal in Mexico. As a matter of fact, now, it's even legal, it's in the lease. Just because you don't know about it. Because contracts, leases are written by who? By attorneys, for attorneys to read. So I really, really try to urge people, make sure that you've got a trusted real estate attorney reviewing the contract. Now, people will say, well, I'm going to get it in English also. Okay, something happens. The Spanish lease actually supersedes the English. So it means that whatever's on the Spanish contract or lease, that's what goes by. I mentioned the promissory note for you for a reason. Because when we found out that he was going to have to pay for the entire 12 months, remember, promissory notes. Promissory note guarantees that the homeowner is actually going to get 100% of their rents. He would have had to pay $24,000 to get out of the lease. $24,000. That is incredible. All right, the last one, number 6 or 5. Number 6. No, who cares? Another disaster, renting a place without seeing it in person. That's a big mistake because of all the things that can actually go wrong with that. Yes, due to the high demand, there are conscientious people looking for a place that they can rent. Find something that they like. So they're looking at the pictures, they're looking at the videos, And the videos and the pictures were shot with wide-angle lenses. What does that mean? That means that when you rent it and then you show up, and what happens? You end up finding out that the place is a lot smaller than what you thought it was going to be. Or the pool wasn't as big as you thought it was going to be. All those kind of things can come into effect. I mean, it's so important. It's so important. So that is why I want to share with you. So you don't have to be another number in a disaster. I offer a real estate virtual rental tour. Now, what do? This will save you thousands. I will tell you that. Heartache, frustration. I've already had it happen numerous times. So what happens is this. You find a property. You like the property that you see. It doesn't matter if it's with Facebook, wherever it may be. And I want you to know, I have actually been asked to go do videos on properties that are on Facebook. And when I reach out to the person, I find out that that's not actually the person that is the property that's actually being supposed to be shown by. That's a clue. I've also gone to properties where I've been told what the name of the person is. Let's say, for example, the realtor or the rental agent or whatever. And so when I go there, I ask, and that's not the person I'm in front of. I do not do a video then. I do not do a video because there are scams going on. I spent almost 10 years in real estate. I believe me, I fully understand that. So you find a property and then you contact me. So what I do is I find out from you, what are the important things to you? What are the special aspects and the special features that you'd like to make sure I include? Things like bathtub, washer, dryer, is there a water filtration system, the dishwasher, pool, the condition, how about the walls? So then I take note of that. Then I set up the appointment with the homeowner or the landlord, with the management company, the realtor, or the rental agent. I arrive and I shoot about a 1 hour video. I'm there for about an hour. Now, in that hour, I am shooting the complete interior of the house, the front yard, the backyard. I'm even going up and down the neighborhood street so you get an idea of what it's like there. Now, when I'm able to, I fly my drone. I put my drone in the air, and this is at no extra charge. I put my drone in the air and give you like a 360 view of where this property is at. So you get a wider idea of where this is located. So I do that, so there are no surprises. So you get to see that. So, as I mentioned, the special features, the pool, barbecue pit, furniture, garden, lake view. I then take all that footage and I edit it. And a 1 hour video in this type of a situation takes me between 3 and 5 hours. And it's usually closer to 5 hours, depending on the complexity of the property itself. I've had some that take a lot longer than that, because I get to the property, it's larger than what I was understood. So I edit, and then I put it into like a 5 to 7 minute video that's totally edited for you. Then I send you the link. You watch the video, and then after you've watched it, we have a conversation. Normally what the client wants to know is, what did I think about the house? What did I think about the neighborhood? What did I think about the pool? What did I think about the size of the backyard? What did I think about being able to have enough space to be able to park? I mean, there's so many things that I've actually had clients want to know about that I took view of and made notes about. So that way you've got a much better educated decision, seeing it visually, and then speaking with me about the place, if it's something you genuinely have an interest in renting. So I take all of the risk away. I take all of the, you're going to know what the place is like. When you give me the information, I actually look online because I want to know what they're showing online so I can then give you an idea of how much of a difference that is. I have actually had people rent places. They declined me doing this for them. They got here, they're coming with their own furniture from the house. They start to they're moving in, and they realize the place isn't as big as what they thought it was. I bet you I've had that happen at least half a dozen times. Half a dozen times. It's incredible, really incredible to see that. So my fee, it's only $350 a property. And if you have 2 properties, I got people that do 4, 5, or 6 properties, but 2 properties was only $500 for both of those videos. And I recently did a video in Jocotepec. This couple that actually have a place, they have a home that's in Puerto Vallarta, and their parents live there. So they saw something online in Jocotepec that actually would be a great place. It's a compound, there's 3 buildings there. It was an art community, and it's got a pool. It really looks like a great place and a neat place. But I ended up finding out that the foundation was slipping. I reached out to my realtor because I wanted to find out, and she said she'd actually shown that property and that she saw that. And I saw cracks in the walls. So when I did the video for this client, I was showing that, making sure that they saw that. And also this property was like $500, I want to say it was $500 or $600,000. And when they saw this, because it actually had been dropped to $150,000. Well, now I know why. So the pool was a mess too. It was a mess. So that's what I help keep you from, is dealing with that kind of thing. So this whole video, all about not being a part of a disaster and making sure that your rental experience is a great experience. So friend, I hope it's been helpful for you. As always, I want to thank you for your community, being a part of this community. I want to thank you for supporting this channel. You have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next video.